Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And today we have another base video. As I promised to you guys yesterday, I wanted to share with you guys the best base which we used at this weekend, and obviously give the base builder a huge shout out as well, which was Rico from Noobs MTV clan. And this base was actually insane. We used it in the playoffs twice. So we used it against Nova and we used it against Darkest Muzan. Neither of those two came close to tripling it. And I want to share with you guys some tricks kinda which are hidden in this base, and obviously want to share with you guys the base link. We're finishing the video with the replays of the attacks of those two teams on this base. And then it's up to you guys deciding if you want to use this base or not. As I said, the base link of this base is going to be in the video description. So if anyone just wants to copy the base, go ahead, do so. But for all of the guys who are interested into base building, well, make sure that you listen closely because I will explain a couple of nice things for you. So let's get started with the base overall. Like, what exactly is the base setup? And the base defended really well with the overall setup, which is 2 ground X-bows and 2 air X-bows in combination with 2 multi-inferno towers and 1 single. Right now, there's a lot of spam out there. Either witches or like super witches, it's Yeti Smash, and even, I mean, at some point you could consider all of those spammy Lalo attacks, at least if it's Zap Lalo, some sort of spam as well. But either way, it's a lot of mass troops, let's put it like this. So against those attack strategies, this base is tending to do really well. So that's kind of a really nice thing for us. The next thing, which is kind of the most important thing in the current meta, especially on competitive play, are Zap Like Lightning value. This is kind of the most important thing because you cannot bait this. Like, if someone sees an entry with lightning, for example, you cannot bait the lightnings. If someone's dropping the lightnings, those buildings are going to be taken out. The only thing how this can fail if the attacker is going to misdrop anything, but that's the only thing on how lightning spells can fail. This is the huge benefit compared lightning spells with anything else. Like, for example, compared with the Yeti blimp or things like that. Those things can be baited, but lightning's not really. And we're starting off with the scatter shots, and that's kind of one of the first things which a lot of people like to use the lightning spell for, which is scatter. And you guys can see both scatters have really limited amount of value around them. The flanking scatter, which is around the Townhall, which you normally use the lightning for in combination with like mass witches, for example, you can use for a scatter and a cannon. No one is doing that. That's stupid. Like, why would you do that? The other scatters combined with the arch tower and bomb tower, which could some people argue it's kind of nice, but that's pretty much it. The next thing which you take a look for is the clan castle. Like, you could use the lightning spell for the clan castle itself, and then wow, like 1 sweeper. That's awesome, I guess. The next thing is in the core. You have 1 multi-inferno tower and the air sweeper, which some people consider being a nice value, but at the same time, most of the time, you try to aim for having the how do you say, 2 air sweepers if it's possible. The next thing is, since you cannot use the lightning stand for the clan castle, you have to use your heroes into the ground expos, which are at the top side, because the bottom side is still covered by the clan castle, so you cannot use your heroes over there. That's the next nice combination, which is make sure that you're using ground expos where you expect other people to use your heroes, or to use their heroes basically. So that's the next really nice trick on this base. And you guys see already, people really tend to struggle when it comes down to lightnings. But one thing which people tried with the super witches, for example, is lightning the left single inferno tower, use the ward walk on the right, and then just super witches all in and hope for the best basically. That's what Nova did, and I think they had, with this attack, the worst attack of the playoffs, of the semi-final matchups. This is why this base is, in my opinion, considered one of the best bases of the qualifier, if not the best base of the qualifier, especially the best playoff base in the last qualifier. But now let's take a look at the traps, because that's kind of important thing as well, because in my opinion, a good base is falling apart with bad traps, even if it has the best design overall. So the first thing is, those combinations of the double giant bombs and the bomb tower are really scary, because if the attacker is only paying, like for 1 second, is not paying attention, he's done. Like those giant bombs in combination with the bomb towers wrecking, for example, hybrid, it's really bad. And that's something which you should always consider as being really useful, actually, especially under those Hawk Rider attacks, which we are going to see in the end from Darkest Muzan. So you guys will definitely see that this is really successful with those double giant bomb setups. And then obviously the next thing is kind of the flank of the Town Hall. Most of the time you have the storages over there because it's covering the Town Hall kind of nicely with Warden Walks. The next thing is most of those Inferno Towers are kind of far inside, especially the Warden, or especially the Inferno Towers which you could possibly Warden Walk. For example, the multi-Inferno Towers. But obviously you cannot Warden Walk in Inferno Tower which is in the core or which is really close to the core. So this setup of the double Inferno Tower is messing up really badly, is messing up really badly any mass attacks like Hawk Riders, Hybrid, I don't know, like whatever, Lalo, whatever, like all of those small troops, they're getting wrecked by this. But now let's take a look at the attacks actually which we had in the finals and in the semifinals against us on this base. And the first one, you guys saw already, Darkest Muzan really crushed us. Not crushed, I mean we lost with one building, but the score overall was really high, except this one base. And you guys will see in the end, this was not even close. He collected a lot of percentage on the outside, but there were a lot of defending buildings still left. So let's take a look at the attack. He's actually going for the lightning spells for the sweeper and the air defense, but he's doing it kind of like advanced. He's doing it with using the earthquakes to activate the tunnel on purpose, which in the end is going to allow the Royal Champion to kind of trade her life against the Town Hall, which is always a huge thing. The next thing, which is going to be, he's starting off with his king on the right side, and he wants to go into the scatter compartment to kind of sui the enemy queen, and obviously the scatter shot on their on its own. But the kind of problem with this is he needs to invest a lot of things for this. First off, the Yeti on the outside for not too much value. I mean, he's getting a cannon. Yes, he's getting the Town Hall, but he already invested for that a lot with the spell capacity. But that's kind of it. Like, there's not too much value. And another Ice Golem as well. So there's a lot of things which he already invested. Now the King ability. The Town Hall went down. Really close, but the Town Hall went down. And now he's getting into the core. But once again, there's not too much for the Queen to get. Except, like, a couple of storages. But that's basically it. The Warden and the Wizard Tower on the right side, which the Queen now is getting, the Hawk Riders would get that either way. Like, that's straight onto the path of the Hawk Riders. So that's not too big. But now he's using the Warden ability nicely for the Bomb Tower and for the Eagle Shots. But the problem now is the pathing. The pathing in this base is completely awful due to the core. And most of the troops, or like a couple of the troops, are splitting up. And they're getting melted by the combination of King, Royal Champion, Multi-Inferno Tower, and Eagle Shots. Now we have the Hawk Riders coming around the top side. The Spring Traps are hitting nicely. And now we remember he used the last heal spell. We remember the double giant bomb, so that's going to be fun. Watching the Hawk Riders going to be bacon 100% in there, because this is kind of the finish line for the Hawk Riders, but at the same time, this is going to be, it's bacon time. That's kind of it. Like double giant bomb, boom, everything is done. The bomb tower isn't even triggering, which means the Hawk Riders will are going to die 100% over there. The skeletons are going to wreck all of those Hawk Riders as well, and the cleanup. And you guys can see there are 2 Expos alive, the Multi-Inferno Tower, a Wizard Tower, a Cannon, and that's in the current meta quite a lot. So obviously he's collecting some more percentages, and the Wizard are clutching it out over here, but that's basically it for this base. Like, it's 87% or something like that, and this is going to be the finish line for this attack. And like I said, there's a lot of defense still left, and this base did crazy. But now let's take a look at the next attack on this base, which was from Nova. And they tried the Super Witches, and I think we can all agree Super Witches right now are pretty strong. The problem with this base is there's not an easy funnel or anything like that. You guys already saw the problem which Darkest Muzan had. You have to invest a lot on this right side to make the funnel actually happening. And let's take a look at how exactly the funnel is working out. Because he has basically this normal combination with one big difference. Because he has to invest so many things for this funnel on the right side, with like 2 baby dragons, he can only bring 4 super witches. And this basically means the entire additional army capacity, which got added in the last update, he has to use those for the funneling, which is not efficient at all if you consider attacking the base, especially with super witches. And you have to speed the Warden Walk up, otherwise super witches will always time fail, and this is not really worth it. But he's trying to force this on this base with having like the Yeti Smash, with having like the super witches in there. And to be honest, the Zap did not really get that much value. I mean, the Archer Tower and Single Firmament Tower, you could look for more, to be honest, but now the Dark Elixir storage is taking the Warden forever, and this is really taking some time. And now the one thing which you can see on this base, which I personally freaking love, is all of the important defenses are structured that is in a line. They're not like in small boxes or something, but with having everything online, like in a line, all of those important defenses like Expos, Inferno Towers, Eagle, Scatter Shots, you cannot use lightning spells efficient, because on lightning spells you want to have everything in a small box, not in a line, because that's how lightning spell works, right? So that's really, really nice, and that's why he only got one Archer Tower and the Inferno Tower with his lightnings. Now the witches are getting into the base, and so far it's looking good. But now let's take a look at how exactly this core is working against something like Yeti Smash or Super Witches if you're sending them into the Townhall. First off, the Sweeper is annoying as hell. First Black Mine, second Black Mine, Inferno Towers in combination with the Tornado Trap. And a couple of seconds ago, this attack looked pretty good. Now, all of the healers are done and dusted, and all of the witches are not looking way better either. So this core is kind of like a death zone for anything which you're sending in there. So that's just crazy. And now on the back end, since we got through the core, finally, yes, let's go. And then there are like 2 ground expos, a scatter shot, and even a flanking multi-inferno tower still alive, which you have no chance to get through. And this is kind of how this attack fell really short, and in the end was one of the reasons why we could go into the finals. And well, nearly won us the finals as well, because there was only one building in a difference in this one. So overall, this base is crazy good. If you want to copy it, feel free to do so. Let me know how it defends for you guys. For us, it did amazing in the playoffs of the last qualifier. Once again, a huge shout out to Rico, who built this base, an amazing job. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys learned a lot when it comes down to base building. And I hope I see you guys back tomorrow for the next video. Until then, see you guys and bye bye.